So I went out to the theaters to check out the new Luca Guadagnino movie Challengers with Zendaya and others, as I only recognize Zendaya. This movie is wild. There are some elements that I absolutely loved, and there are many elements that I felt very, very indifferent to. So let's start to break it down. The story is somehow more complex than I originally expected from this film. It's not told in a chronological order, but it also doesn't hurt the film that it's not told that. It's all on the backtrack of this grand tennis match, which in theory is actually really cool. In practice is mostly cool. But pretty much it's a movie full of flashbacks that set up modern events and what's going on in the match. And I think it's actually a really interesting storytelling perspective, especially with how they actually do build it up inside the movie. It's just that it's not immediately introduced as that. And so it does a lot of time jumping from the past, from the future to the past, to the future to the past, and it's very, very tone jumpy in that as well. And so the story is not as good as it could be because of how they decided to structure it. And I think that is a bit sad, as the story was fairly interesting. I'll give a Hot Pocket score there. Now, let's talk about the cinematics, which are this movie's bread and butter, as it literally carries the movie. Two things carry this movie: the cinematography of some sequences. Some of the sequences in this film and the scenes and the shot composition are absolutely gorgeous and amazing. And the second thing is the score, which is so good. I was head bopping to the score the whole runtime. There were moments in the movie where the sound mixing was a bit off, so the score would play louder than the dialogue, but I didn't mind because I was enjoying the score more than I was enjoying the dialogue, so I was vibing, as the kids would say. It is so good. There are sequences where they have both this amazing cinematography and amazing score, and that is what kept this movie going up for me personally, as I wasn't really engaged with it otherwise. But that score was so good, and some of those scenes were so well shot that this segment gets a hand grenade score. Direction, I do think that the pacing was a little off, but I guess that happens when you're jumping back and forth from past to present, technically speaking. But it's interesting, but like it does feel longer than it is, which is never a good sign. But it's a Hot Pocket score for Luca here. It's still enjoyable, should be seen at least once, and honestly, because of some of those shots, it almost landed in hand grenade. The acting is all right. It's not going to get like any Academy Awards for it. It could get some noms, but I don't really see it as much as I can see it in other films. But like Zendaya is pretty good in it, Josh O'Connor is pretty good in it, Mike Fast is pretty good in it. But like they just don't scream to me performance-wise as some others that I have seen this year, especially from like Dune. But like, man, the score is so good. I need to stop talking about that. But yeah, I'll give a Hot Pocket score there as well. So my expectations and experience, I saw this with a group of friends, and we all had very similar thoughts in how the story was not at the best of its abilities, but the score and cinematography more than bumps it up a notch in terms of enjoyment. So I will probably be listening to the score like on car rides from here on out for a minute, as it is that good. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this movie. This movie is a certified Hot Pocket movie. I strongly suggest checking it out at least once on a screen with a very good sound system. But other than that, it's worth one watch, and you probably will listen to the soundtrack more than you'll watch the movie. But yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below if you checked out Challengers or not, and if you agreed with my thoughts if you have seen the movie, and subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, I'll leave you guys to it.